So just for note, this is a 43 card deck going second build. That's really about it. So let's just get to the deck list. Of course, first things first is 3 Soul Eating Oviraptor, the heart and soul of the deck, your best starter, but not really the only one anymore. 3 Baby Ceratosaurus. This card just gets your engine going, and you just use it over and over again. 2 Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. I wanted to play 3, but drawing 2 is not really very optimal. This card really does everything for you, kills your opponent, disrupts them. It's the best boss monster ever printed. Really good card all around. 2 Animadorm Archosaur. This card, it is sometimes a brick when you draw it, but if you see a Baby Ceratosaurus with it, you can just go full combo. 2 Scrap Raptor, the second best starter. It gets you an Dino in the graveyard just in case you hard open the pill. Pops your opponent's cards during the scrap combo. It's a really good card. 1 Giant Rex, 1 Limited Miscellaneous Source, unfortunately, and the Honorary Dino, a Scrap Chimera. This card really comes in clutch. It just helps you do everything you want. 1 Dinosaur Panctrops and 1 Dogeron. These are just for breaking boards. The Cyframe Gear package, it sucks drawing the driver, but the card is too strong not to play. It stops a lot of your opponent's starters, and it's just a really good card all around. 1 Drawn Lockbird. So originally this actually was a Scrap Golem, but in testing, the Scrap Golem was a bit too bricky to play in the main deck. So I just opted to play 1 Drawn Lockbird. If you see it, it helps you sometimes. If you don't, it doesn't really matter. And then for the spell cards, 3 Fossil Dig. Searches you anything in the deck. 2 Double Evolution Pill, just so that you get the Armador search. 3 Pot of Extravagance and 1 Pot of Prosperity. So I really like Pot of Prosperity, but always using it is not optimal because it conflicts with trying to OTK your opponent. Pot of Extravagance, as much as the randomness hurts sometimes, but the draw 2 just makes up for it. Then for the going second cards is 3 Lightning Storm. This card came up too many times. Played against a lot of back row. It really helped me break my opponent's board. 3 Triple Tactical Talents. This card came in really useful today. I used it to steal a lot of Red Eyes Darkness Dragoons. Just really, that was the most of it. 1 Forbidden Droplet and 2 Dark Ruin No Mores. So these ratios seem a little bit weird, but the side deck will explain it. 2 Toon Twisters, and to finish it off, 1 Red Reboot for the back row hate. And now moving on to the extra deck. 1 Kyubi Shenshin. So this card doesn't come up much in game 1, but because Scrap Golem is in the side, you can make it using your Scrap Golem and your Scrap Raptor. 1 Cyframe Lord Omega. This card is not just good to cycle your Miscellaneousaurus or to take rip cards of your opponent's hand, but it's also handy when your opponent uses Nadir's Servant and it baits out the Shadow Schism. 1 Borrowed Savage Dragon. I didn't make this so much today. I think I only made it once. It's good to have, but it's not really always a necessity. 1 Evorza Lagia, 1 Evorza Dolka. So these 2 are just staples of the Dino deck. 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 time 3 free doer, just really rank 4s that facilitate a lot of things. And the MVP of the deck today was Bujinki Amaterasu. So this card has a quick effect. If it's during your turn, it special summons a banished level 4 or lower monster. If it's during your opponent's turn, it adds a level 4 or lower banished monster to your hand. So this card, I used it to cycle back my Misk into play so that I don't really lose it. Really felt no different than when you have 3 Mists. And turned out for the XZs, 1 AA Zeus in case you steal your opponent's XZs or you just make it using your own. And now for the Link monsters, 1 Link Kiribu for the non-Dino, 2 Scrap Wyvern. So this is actually the card that you care about most in the extra deck. If you banish 1, you don't really care because you're playing 2. 1 Cyframe Lord Lambda, just so that Gamma is not a brick anymore. one Apollo with the Goddess, and one Access Code Toker just for generic Link Force. Now moving on to the side deck. So the reason for the weird ratios is Crossout Designator. It came up a bit, it was sometimes a brick, but I just find it's much better to side. And then for the Crossout targets, we have one Called by the Grave, one Impermanence, one Ash, one Lasia, one Nibiru. These really usually stop your deck really hard, so having a way to stop them is just very good. And then for the going first engine is one Scrap Golem, one Terraforming, and 3 Lost World. So typically these would be sided in for your Lightning Storms or your Polo Extravagances. This I really hate drawing it, but it's a really powerful card, and it helps make an even bigger combo board. Lost World is a really good card. It prevents targeting. It makes your opponent's monsters lose 500, and if you have it and a Kaiju, you give your opponent a Kaiju, and the token's already there, so all their targeting effects are shut down. And then to round it off is 2 Anti-Spell, 1 Imperial. I've never actually really sided these in, but they're really good cards. I didn't see any matchups that would require me to side these in. And now just for a demonstration, I'll just do a combo tutorial on, it's a 2-card combo, and it gets you your full field, and this is without siding, so this is without the Scrap Golem, so you can just see how strong the board is going first. Even if your opponent lets you go first, it doesn't matter because you can make a really strong board. So the 2-card combo is Baby Ceratosaurus and Soul Eating Oviraptor. Of course, every combo from Dino starts like this, and it basically gets you into your full board. So first things first, you go ahead and you notice on your Soul Eating Oviraptor. Use Soul Eating's Oviraptor effect to search your Miscellaneousaurus. Of course, this is a choke point of the deck, so if you already have the Miscellaneousaurus, which is sometimes unlikely, it saves you the trouble of actually searching it, and you can just search Conductor instead. Use the effect of Miscellaneousaurus, you send it to the graveyard, and then you banish it to summon a level 1. Of course, you will summon your Armadorn Archosaur. Armadorn's effect will destroy your Baby Ceratosaurus to special summon another Baby Ceratosaurus and search you double evolution pill. And then use the effect of Oviraptor, targeting your Baby Ceratosaurus to destroy it and bring back the other Baby Ceratosaurus from the graveyard. Now the Baby Ceratosaurus effect will activate, summoning you your Scrap Raptor. You'll use Scrap Raptor's effect to destroy your Baby Ceratosaurus to get an extra normal summon for a Scrap monster. Baby Ceratosaurus' effect will trigger, summoning out a Giant Trex. So here, typically you'd go into one of your Exceeds, either Torque or Lagia, depending on the matchup, and then you will link your Animadorm Archosaur for a Link Kiribo, just so that you can secure the non-Dino in the graveyard for your double evolution pill. You link off the Link Kiribo and the Scrap Raptor into your Scrap Wyvern. Now in most cases your Scrap Wyvern will be protected from Effect Failure, Ghost Bell, Skullmeister, really anything, and if you have your Laga instead, from Infinite Impermanence or any other cards like that. You'll use the effect of Scrap Wyvern, destroying your Scrap Raptor, so summoning it back and then destroying it, and then it will be Chain Link 1 your Scrap Raptor because you want to guarantee the search from the Scrap Raptor, and then Chain Link 2 it will be your Scrap Wyvern, summoning out another Scrap Raptor, and then the Scrap Raptor will resolve, searching you a Scrap Chimera. You will now summon the Scrap Chimera using the effect to bring back the Scrap Raptor, and I have 3 level 4s on board. You link these off into a Bujinki Amaterasu. So typically I don't use this during my turn. I use it during my opponent's turn so that I can get the Miscellaneousaurus back to hand. But after using your double evolution pill, summoning out your Conductor Tyranno, banishing a Baby and the Link Kiribo, what you can do is that you can use Amaterasu's effect, detaching to special summon back the Baby Ceratosaurus so that you can guarantee a play with your Ultimate Conductor's Tyranno. And then during your opponent's turn, during the standby, you go ahead and you attach another card for the Bujinki Amaterasu, and just add back your miscellaneous source. Sometimes you do draw the ultimate conductor Tyranno, and that's fine. You can just summon it normally and then use your build to summon out a Dino Wrestler Prank Drops. This is really all for my Dino deck. Thank you all for watching and hope you enjoyed.